Howdy folks, and welcome again to the chefandthegrape.com. Welcome to our late night edition where we talk about all things mysterious, and tonight the great mystery, sparkling wine. Continuing our conversation about sparkling wine, and especially the sparkling wines of BC. Today you might be able to see here on the mantle I have a couple of amazing specimens from a superb producer in the Okanagan Valley. Waiting for traffic in the Okanagan Valley, and the producer Bella Wines, not to be confused with Bella Vineyards and Wine Caves, which is from California. This is something different. This is Bella Wines from British Columbia. Now, those of you who are in the know should understand that some of the best, some of the most forward-thinking sparkling wine in the world today is being produced in Canada. I know this sounds like a bold statement. It is a bold statement, absolutely. Can't argue that point at all. But it's true. There's no way to look at the impressive list of Canadian winemakers who have placed in the top 10 around the world over the past 5 years and not say, well, hey, they've got some pretty kick-ass talent. And then remembering that they're one of the smallest wine-producing regions in the world, saying, they've got some pretty kick-ass talent, and there aren't that many people there. So to say they are cutting edge, that they are forward-thinking in sparkling wine production, really, although it's a bold statement, it's true. And this just goes to prove it. So this is a very new winery, less than 5 years old, or just coming up on 5 years old. And they are releasing multiple single vineyard sparkling wines. Stunning, and at amazingly low prices. So we're going to talk about sparkling Blanc de Blanc. Blanc de Blanc just means white from white. It means that this is sparkling Chardonnay. Oh, I don't like Chardonnay. ABC, anything but Chardonnay. No offense, but bullshit. The same people who say they don't like Chardonnay say they love Chablis. And the truth is that Chardonnay is capable of such amazing diversity and expression that for somebody to say categorically they do not like the varietal just means they don't like wine. So, if you haven't found the Chardonnay for you, which is possible, this might be the one. So 2 sparkling Blanc de Blancs, both from Bella Vineyards, one though from the Okanagan Valley, and the other from the Similkameen. Similkameen a little bit further south, a little bit higher altitude, very narrow valley. Let's start, I want to make sure I'm grabbing the right one, with the Similkameen. And how do we start to critique a sparkling wine? We start by the bubbles. Now you'll forgive me, this has actually been open for quite some time now, and so some of the bubbles have dissipated. We'll get to that for the next one. So let's jump straight into the nose. Sorry, traffic. The folks at Bella Vineyards have a philosophy that they want to be as minimal in their intervention as possible, because they really want you, the person tasting the wine, to really understand where the wine is coming from. And I think that's pretty amazing. The Similkameen Blanc de Blanc, very dry, very dusty mineral, grapefruit zest, yellow and white grapefruit. Maybe hints of lime in there as well. Just give it a little stir. Some white floral tones. And it's a very flinty mineral. Then on the palate, a wash and a very creamy mousse. Bubbles, perhaps a little bit bigger than I'm used to. Not a fault, just a comment. Acid, bone dry, very precise, very tense, very steely. Very grapefruit, very lemon. I wanted to say there was a hint on the bitter side. I don't think it's bitter. I think it's just that really developed mineral tone on the bottom of the palate that's just So strong, so fierce, so independent. Very good integration. Easily 89 plus points. Easily 90 points. Which means very professional. Is this the best sparkling wine I've ever had in my life? No. Is this absolutely professional? Yes, absolutely. Very interesting though. Because then, you'll forgive me, I had a little bit poured earlier so I can make some notes. Let's try the Okanagan and see if there's a difference. Well, that one I had under enclosure, so you can see the bubbles still quite lively in that. Yeah. And on the nose, automatically starts offering actually a little bit more plushness. So I wonder in this vintage, and are they labeled for vintage? Yes, 2013. Same, 2013. 2013 was not an exceptionally cool vintage. And I know they were actually harvested at a fair amount of ripeness, but I wonder if perhaps it was a little bit cooler in this Milkmead, because on the Okanagan I get much more of a melon tone, even a hint of cucumber, but like cucumber gin. Yeah, kind of odd. In a good way though. That mousse is even creamier. The bubbles seem to be even a little bit more finessed. Could just be my perception. And the acid seems a bit softer. So rather than a full acid, it seems a medium plus with a little bit more integration. And although they're both brew, I would say that to my palate, this Milkmead almost seems a brew nature, meaning zero dosage, zero sugar added. And the Okanagan seems to be just brew, and a soft brew at that, meaning that I would guess 6-7 grams of residual sugar, something like that. But all the difference in the world on the palate, right? And those melon tones really do come through more. Very generous on the palate. I feel it right around the edges. Beautiful wine, but I understand why my wife much preferred the Okanagan and I much preferred the Smilkmead. Just different tastes, right? I love Radicchio. My wife does not. That's okay, we're all different. So, those are my reviews of the Bella Sparkling Blanc de Blanc. But wait, there's more. Value, very good and then some for both of them. They're great value for the money and very indicative not only of varietal, but of region. Yeah, great expression. There's a few more wines from Bella coming up soon, so just hold on, folks.